Hi, I'm Scott Lowe with ActualTech Media. I'm here today with Gary Watson, founder of Nexsan. Gary, hello.
Hey, Scott, how you doing?
I'm doing great. So, there's things happening in the industry, from what I understand. So, one of the big ones is Flash. And we've been hearing about Flash for a decade now, but it's really coming into its own now. What are your thoughts on Flash in 2017?
Well, what's amazing is where we've come from. So in the last few years, we've been using Flash mainly for our very high performance clients and for caching. But in 2017, this will be the first year that Flash can be used for just the general IT requirements. It's cheap enough to be used for almost any application in the data center. So, this year there's some new high density stuff coming out that we'll be announcing later that's just very inexpensive, very fast, but is so economical, it'll pretty much put the high-end spinning drives out of business.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone can enjoy the benefits of Flash, which makes it easier to plan performance and to not worry about hotspots and not have to think about databases and impact on other storage and things like that.
I mean, there's a couple 15 terabyte drives in the market, but there's a 60 terabyte one that's imminently available, right?
Vaporware right now, but
it's coming soon.
Yeah.
And that changes the economics and the layout of the data center when you start having that kind of potential capacity density.
I mean, there's some talk that in some situations you could just have one drive running a data center,
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, you've got enough, for a small data center, you've got enough IOPS, you've got enough capacity. Obviously, there's a couple of other minor downsides, like redundancy, but you could theoretically run it on a
So our
external drive.
Nexsan customers skew to the high capacity. So, we tend to look at things in terms of tens or hundreds or thousands of terabytes. So we're architecting solutions in that space that'll be tens to hundreds of terabytes of flash.
Right.
And but the thing is, the price is reasonable now. That
Right.
normal people can use them routinely, just like we've seen the transition with laptops. That it's cheap enough that pretty much anyone can afford all flash laptops.
Right. I wouldn't ever have a hard drive in a laptop anymore.
Not anymore, no.
The other thing that's happening is, let's think about capacity again, and cost. Cloud became sort of the calling card for a lot of places. This is what they were going to do. This is what their future was going to be, all cloud.
Sure.
That's changing. People are pulling back from cloud for some really important economic reasons. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure, and it's sort of like rental cars. I mean, a rental car is great for one day, but you wouldn't want to keep that rental car for a period of time. It's great for unexpected or short-term usage or for changes in demand. But really, over the long term, you need to own it. And it turns out that if you look at the top public cloud people, Amazon S3, for example, just as an example, that that's about $30 a terabyte a month. And if you do the math, that sort of pays for a Nexsan storage box in a year, 6 months, a year, and that's not even counting all the other stuff they charge you for. So just the storage, people are finding that the cloud is an expensive place to live. It may get you to market quickly, but you don't want to live there. Just like the rent a car, you don't want to keep it from off.
I actually, in a blog post a while back, used that exact same analogy.
Really?
It was or maybe it was a book, I can't remember, but it was the rental car, lease a car, buy a car. And leasing and buying a car are basically owning it. I mean, even though leasing is renting for a period of time. So, yeah, totally understand where you're coming from. Renting a car for a month is super expensive.
It is. And, we're not against cloud. We sell storage to cloud people. But it's just like Ford isn't against Hertz, but there's a use case for buying a Ford or renting the Ford from Hertz, right?
Right.
And that's kind of the analogy I would use. And so the other thing is, you can't really get the low latency and high bandwidth that you can get off of on-premise storage when you're in a public cloud. So the public cloud is more applicable to people who have all of their applications also in the cloud.
Right.
But private storage is much more cost effective and much more performant if your power users or applications are in the building, or if you're planning to do a lot of data mining, because data mining can get very expensive in the cloud.
We were actually having a conversation with our team at ActualTech Media yesterday about cloud and pulling data back and all that good stuff. So this is definitely a topic that a lot of organizations that have, even if they've not gone all in, but they've taken steps into the cloud, they're going to have to be thinking about this sort of thing, especially in terms of legacy applications.
And of course, with our new Unity product, we're helping people pull back from the cloud, the public cloud, and having effectively their own private cloud system.
Very good. Thank you very much, Gary.
Thank you. Appreciate it.